Before I begin, I want you to understand something very clearly. This isn't just another speech. This is a mirror. A mirror that's about to show you what you've been tolerating, what you've been responding to, and what you've been giving your energy to for far too long. And when I'm done, some of you will never look at your enemies, your doubters, your fake friends the same way again. You see, we live in a world where people feed off your reaction. They provoke you, they mock you, they gossip and try to pull you into their chaos, not because you're weak, but because your presence reminds them of everything they're not. And the biggest mistake you've been making, you've been giving them exactly what they want, your attention, your voice, your energy. You've been feeding fires that should have burned out on their own, but not anymore. Today, I'm not here to teach you how to fight back. I'm here to show you how to rise so far above the noise that the noise dies in your silence. I'm here to remind you that not every attack deserves your defense, not every opinion deserves a response, and not every insult is worth your dignity. Because when you learn the art of ignoring, you master something far more dangerous than revenge. You master control. So I need your full attention, not because my words matter more than yours, but because after this speech, you're going to stop wasting your breath on people who don't deserve to breathe your name. And I promise you, if you truly understand what I'm about to share, you won't just be untouchable. You'll be unstoppable. Now listen closely. This is for the ones who have been lied about, talked down to, underestimated, and betrayed. This is for the ones who have stayed quiet for too long, but are ready to reclaim their silence as power. Because the most dangerous version of you is the one who refuses to be moved by noise. You see, they don't actually want to destroy you. They want to distract you. That's the truth. They want to pull you out of your lane, drag you into arguments, push your buttons, and watch you explode. Why? Because every time you react, they win. Every time you answer back, they feel important. Every time you respond to the noise, you lower yourself to a level you've already outgrown. And that's exactly what they want, to break your focus, to shake your ground, and to make you question your own strength. But the most powerful weapon you will ever carry is silence. Not the silence of weakness, not the silence of fear, but the silence of power. The kind of silence that says, "You don't move me." The kind of silence that makes people uncomfortable because they know you heard them, but chose to rise instead. That silence is louder than any argument you could throw. It's louder than the gossip, louder than the hate, louder than the noise they desperately want you to drown in. People will always test you. They'll push, they'll poke, they'll try to find that crack in your calm. Because chaos can't stand peace. And when you walk into a room with real power, the ones who have none will do everything in their reach to disturb your balance. That's when you must understand the difference between reacting and responding. Reaction is emotional. Response is strategic, but silence, that's spiritual, that's mastery, that's control on a level they'll never understand. Some of you are tired right now, not because you're weak, but because you've spent years explaining yourself to people who were never going to respect your truth. You've defended your character to people who already made up their mind. You've argued with people who weren't even listening. They were just waiting for a moment to twist your words. And that drains your soul more than any physical battle ever could. But you have to remember, you're not tired because of the fight. You're tired because of what you've been fighting for, and maybe it's time to stop fighting them altogether. When you stop responding, they panic, because they never had control over you, only your reactions. And once you take that back, once you stop handing over your peace like it's free, you become dangerous. You become untouchable. They can call you names, they can lie on your name, they can create stories, but they can't reach you. Because you're not even in the same room anymore. You're not available for their drama. You're not accessible to their noise. You're not online when they tag you in the chaos. You're gone mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and that's silence. That absence, it echoes. It shakes the very ground they stand on because they realize they don't matter to you. And when someone realizes they no longer matter to you, their control dissolves, that's when the shift happens. That's when the game changes. You're no longer defending your peace. You've become the peace. You're no longer proving who you are. You've embodied it so deeply that even your absence carries weight. You don't chase explanations. You don't need revenge. Your silence becomes the announcement. I'm not playing this game anymore. Don't think ignoring them is weakness. It takes more strength to walk away than it ever took to stay and argue. Anyone can yell, anyone can curse, anyone can react, but it takes power to smile at the noise and keep walking like it doesn't exist. That's when they realize they were never your enemy, they were your test. And the way you pass that test is not with fire, not with fury, but with complete, deliberate detachment. Some people will never like you, not because you did something wrong, but because you did something right. You grew, you elevated, you walked away, you refused to be controlled, and that bothers people who rely on chaos to feel alive. So they talk, let them, they twist the truth, let them, they try to trigger you, let them try. Your silence is not an absence. It's a message. It says, I know who I am, I know where I'm going, and nothing you say can touch that. That's why I say your silence is power. That's why ignoring them is the ultimate revenge. Because when the storm rages, and you're still standing, calm and unshaken, the world will see who had the real power all along. And that is how you win. Your energy is your most valuable currency, and yet so many of you are spending it on people who don't deserve a single second of your time. Think about that. You wake up every day with a limited amount of focus, strength, and emotional bandwidth. But instead of using that energy to build, to grow, to evolve, you waste it defending yourself to people who never wanted to understand you in the first place. You argue with cowards, you chase clarity from confusion, you feed into drama hoping it will resolve itself. And the truth is, it never does, it only grows because you keep feeding it. The problem isn't that you're weak. The problem is that your energy has no boundaries. You give it out like it's endless, like it costs you nothing. But it costs everything. Every time you respond to gossip, every time you try to correct a lie, every time you let someone else's opinion shake your peace, you pay a price. You lose momentum, you lose clarity, you lose time that you'll never get back. And for what? For validation from people who aren't even walking in your shoes. For the approval of people who would celebrate your fall if it came. You have to protect your energy like you protect your life, because it is your life. Energy is what drives your thoughts. Energy fuels your discipline. Energy builds your vision. Without it, you're scattered. You're reactive. You're constantly stuck in emotional survival mode, always responding to someone else's chaos. And when you live like that, you can't build anything that lasts. You can't be creative. You can't be intentional. You can't be great, because all your power is leaking into places it was never meant to go. They want your attention. That's the game, not your success, not your wisdom, not your potential, just your attention, because if they can't build what you're building, they'll try to destroy your focus. That's their revenge. That's their way of feeling like they still have control. But you're the one giving them that power every time you stop what you're doing to respond to their noise. Start asking yourself, is this worth my energy? Not your time, your energy. Time can pass, but energy, once spent, doesn't come back the same. You know it, you've felt it. After a pointless argument, after explaining yourself for the 5th time, after defending your name in rooms filled with snakes, you feel drained. You feel like you've been pulled in 100 directions, all leading to nowhere. That's not life. That's emotional slavery. And the only way out is to stop paying with your peace. You have to value your mission more than their opinion. You have to want your future more than you want to be understood by the wrong people. You have to be so in tune with your purpose that their distractions don't even tempt you anymore. That's the discipline it takes to protect your energy. That's what it means to walk in your own lane, untouched by their noise. Some of you are running in circles because you keep trying to bring everyone with you. You keep checking to see who's still watching, who's still doubting, who's still talking. But let me ask you, how far can you go if you're dragging dead weight? How much can you build if you're constantly looking over your shoulder? You can't build and battle at the same time. Choose one. The ones who truly respect you will never need you to exhaust yourself for their understanding. And the ones who demand your energy just to play with it. They're not your enemies, they're distractions. They don't come to challenge you to grow. They come to steal the fire that was never meant for them. And if you let them take it, you can't blame them. You handed it over. This is why ignoring them is not just smart, it's necessary. Because when you protect your energy, you protect your future. You create space for the things that matter. You make room for the battles that are actually worth fighting. You stop surviving and start thriving. You stop reacting and start building. You stop explaining and start evolving. So from this point forward, be intentional about where your energy goes. Not everyone deserves your fire. Not every comment needs your clarity. Not every insult is worth your emotion. You're not here to be understood by everyone. You're here to become who you were meant to be. And that journey takes energy. Guard it like your life depends on it, because it does. Protect your energy, and the rest will protect itself.